Welcome to the Undisputed Podcast. I'm your host, Jenny Taft. On today's show, should the Giants be concerned about Saquon Barkley living up to the hype? Plus, Rashad Jennings joins the show to break down the best running backs in the NFL. And can the Rockets contend for a title with Carmelo Anthony? Skip, Shannon, let's go. Well, the Giants are trying to bounce back from a disappointing 3-13 season with a healthy Odell Beckham Jr. and Saquon Barkley. Optimism is so high that anonymous scout told NJ.com his strategy against the Giants is to, quote, pray for injuries and bad weather. Barkley is already generating a lot of buzz. He signed a huge contract and led the NFL in jersey sales this offseason. But Giants co-owner John Mara said about Barkley, quote, I do get a little nervous about all the hype. We're joined now by former Giants running back Rashad Jennings. Thank you for being here.
Welcome.
Appreciate y'all having me on.
When you hear about all the hype
with
Saquon, is there too much? What do you make of it?
I mean, he was the second overall draft pick, so obviously he's going to have hype. Is it too much? I mean, what do you determine it by? He hasn't played a down yet in the NFL, so you have to determine it based upon what he did at the collegiate level, and he dominated. Arguably, he's, one of the top guys, obviously the top guy coming out of the draft. He was second overall pick. He's going to have hype. He needs to perform. I think he has a lot of pressure more than hype. The hype is there. Hype is real because of his tangibles. I mean, this kid, his legs, everything about him says that he can come in the league and play right away. Right. So I don't think he's overhyped. I just think he needs an opportunity to prove it right.
So you know about playing running back in New York City for the New York Football Giants.
Yeah.
What's the media pressure like? Is it more than you experienced elsewhere?
It's tough.
Yeah.
Anything you do in New York can and will be held against you, all good and all bad. And you're under a microscope. You're playing with a gridiron quarterback, obviously Eli Manning. You have somebody who the camera loves over there with Odell Beckham.
Yeah.
It's in New York. Everybody's going to have pressure on you. He was the #1 jersey sale out.
He was.
So there's a lot of people going to be speculating anything he does. In New York, it's difficult to play, but I think he's a character guy. I think they picked up somebody who could be a generational running back. He's very unique. His stature, his ability to catch out the backfield, his make and miss ability. So I think he could be a long-term guy, similar to what Tiki Barber was able to do with the Giants. I think he could do that. I see him as a bigger size Ray Rice. I see him as a bigger Freeman there in Atlanta. Yeah. And I think he has an opportunity to come in and prove that he can play for a very long time.
I think it's the perfect storm. As you mentioned, Rashad, he's the #2 pick overall, and he goes to New York. Skip, if he's the 25th pick and he goes somewhere else, even if he's the #2 pick and he goes to somewhere else, doesn't matter. Leonard Fournette was the 4th pick in the draft. He went to Jacksonville. He didn't get this kind of buzz.
Nope.
Zeke Elliott went to not like this kid here. They're talking about Skip.
It was not like this.
They're talking about he's Eric Dickerson and Barry Sanders. I'm like, whoa.
Curtis Martin.
I'm like, whoa, wait a minute.
Curtis Martin said, I see Barry Sanders, Eric Dickerson, and Jim Brown. Well, how much higher can you go? At least you only went Ray Rice and Freeman, right?
Right. Yeah. And the thing is that because he went to New York, he's the 2nd pick in the draft, and that's the perfect storm. And you look at, you see he can run back kickoffs, and then he had this great collegiate career. He could catch the ball out of the backfield. We know he can run the ball. So he's automatically going to stop. That is the easiest position to transition. Playing running back in college football and coming to the NFL, it is an easy position, but there's a heap of pressure on him because they believe that this is the missing piece. We got Odell, we got Ingram, we got Shepard. Eli's back, who's won 2 Super Bowls. The defense will be better. We just need someone to give us consistent run game. They believe this guy is it, and I agree with you. I don't know if he's hyped, but the pressure is there.
Pressure's there. Facts.
I just couldn't see this Saquon when I watched him on TV in college. I just watch TV. I don't watch coaches' tape. But if I just apply my eye test to what I saw last year, and I watched all the Ohio State game. Were you at that one?
I was.
Yeah. And then I watched the next week at Michigan State, and I watched samples of all other games that he played. But those 2 I watched in full. I got to tell you, he didn't dominate. At Ohio State, he went 21 times for 44 yards, and at Michigan State, 14 times for 63 yards, and Penn State lost both those games. Again, I also watched that Rose Bowl the year before when he had his coming out party, but it looked like it was just a score fest with no defense played by either team, and Darnold and Saquon just kind of went up and back against each other. Can you top this? Yes, I can. Watch this, watch this. Now, he did run the opening kickoff back at Ohio State, so he can do that, and I give you that. But I don't see Ezekiel Elliott here. I don't see dominator, difference maker. I do see, to your point, extremely high character. You were around him a good bit. We had him on the show. He is high caliber young man, and that will serve him well, and it will bode well for the Giants. But can he live up to the #1 jersey sale before he's even stepped on the football field? I don't think so. And it feels like New York has decided that he is Barry Sanders and Eric Dickerson and Jim Brown.
I don't know about no Barry Sanders now. I hear you.
Saying. I don't get it. I don't know what Curtis Martin was doing. He's a Jet. Was he trying to handicap a new Giant? But he took him under his wing and it's kind of his mentor. So I don't see that. And then we've had quotes about how the Giants' offense is going to be the most explosive in pro football.
Pray for bad weather or injury. That's the only way you're going to be. I'm like,
Y'all don't like those statements?
You said that?
No, I didn't say that, but listen, obviously.
No, because I believe there are 5, 6 offenses off the top of my head. The Steelers, the Patriots, the Rams, the Saints. Minnesota will have a better offense than the Giants.
That's a mouthful right there.
Right, that's tough. I mean, the Giants are tough. I mean, they're addressing the offensive line. Like you said, they brought in a tight end that they're comfortable with. They bring it back an offensive coordinator that they love. The defense is going to be stout. It's going to be difficult to beat them.
Okay, but you did not mention the position, the quarterback.
Eli.
And you
that's
played
Eli,
with him
baby.
for 3
What's
years.
up?
Yeah.
Shout out to Eli. I rode with him all day. What's going on?
You know
what
what's up?
talking about?
You know what's up?
I know what's up.
Okay,
Listen,
so you did know Geno. Geno started the game.
I saw that. Now, what happened the next game?
But that to let you know that it happened a game.
Okay, a game. Well, people make decisions. People make decisions.
What great you ever known in this part of their career get benched for one game for a guy that's not going to be the replacement or the future?
Who did that?
The Giants did it.
The Giants or the coach?
Yep.
It seemed like everybody wasn't in the same coach. All I'm going to say is that coach is no longer there.
Right. Yep.
We're moving forward, all right? As a Giant, I believe Coach did what he thought was going to be best for that team at that particular time.
Right.
That's what he did. That's the decision he made.
So let that sink in for a second.
He
thought Geno Smith was better than Eli Manning at that time. Geno Smith. That's what he thought. That's what you're saying.
That's it. He did what he thought was best.
Yeah.
So I'm going to remind you of something. The team quarterback by Eli Manning has missed the playoffs 5 of the last 6 years. Not a good sign. Not a good look. Eli is getting older. He's now in his 15th season. He's like in LeBron territory, right?
He ain't playing like LeBron, though.
He's
It's LeBron territory.
Yeah, no, as far as
just in years.
Yeah.
Just in years. That's it.
So
I'm just trying to understand.
Okay,
we comparing Eli to LeBron.
No, I'm not.
I like it.
In
I like
how long he's
Don't do
been
that. Don't do
playing,
that.
he's
Sorry.
getting
He did it.
he's getting up there in age. He has led this league in interceptions 3 times. There's potential he could do it a 4th time because he will throw it all over the lot. In some games, you just say, what are you doing?
Interesting.
You just kind of lost it.
We're talking about potential. Let's talk about the potential to win a Super Bowl and be MVP twice in it. We want to talk about potential.
When last time that happened?
He did.
When the last time it happened? I don't know. He want to discuss potential. So Eli has the he
That's
has
all
the
he's
iron.
ever done. He beat Tom
He
Brady
has the iron.
twice.
He has the iron to prove
He
the
does,
fire that
twice.
he's an MVP of the Super Bowl.
Right.
Yep.
He can lead this team. He can throw every throw. He can be the leader in the huddle. He's a consistent guy, first in, last out type of guy. If the wins are, he's going to blame the wins because of the team, the losses because of him. He's somebody that this team can ride with. He's excited to go in here and prove himself right and shut a lot of people up. That's why I like the guy. He's not worried about anybody else outside that locker room. He's in practice, he's in camp, and he's going to come out and prove himself right, just like he likes to do every single year. What'd you say?
He's been consistent, huh?
He's been consistent?
Skip, didn't you say he missed the playoffs 5 of the last 6 years? So he's been really consistent.
I mean, everybody, listen, ebbs and flows. Perfection is difficult
There's
to
been a lot of ebbs.
It is a lot of ebbs. So y'all, what you trying to say?
Valley.
So what we saying? We saying you saying y'all don't like?
I mean, the comments about this offense, you got to pray for bad weather or injury with this offense.
I mean, I wouldn't pray for weather. There's a lot of things I pray for in life, and it's not going to be the weather.
To stop the Giants offense, I mean.
To stop the,
You think they have one of the top 10 offenses? Because he said,
no. He just gave you a no.
Yeah. No, I mean, I'm thinking about all. I'm trying to.
I just gave you 5 off the top of my head.
If you ask me with the top 5 anything, I'm going to thinking about it.
Where you going to put the Patriots, the Saints, the Steelers? Let's just go with them for right there. The Rams.
Up there. Definitely up there.
Okay, so where the Giants fit in at?
They definitely have a chance to.
The Falcons?
They definitely have a chance to. With the weapons that they have on that offensive side of the ball, and with you got to accumulate also.
Weapons ain't no good if you don't know how to use it.
Listen, you also got to accumulate that special teams and defense helps in offense. Yeah. And you got to accumulate that this defense is going to be strong.
Oh, I believe the defense will
and that's going to put your offense in better positions as well. So we do have to let this thing play out.
Okay.
All right, I'm going to lay it on the table. I'm a Dallas Cowboy fan born and raised. I can't help it. It's just in me. I grew up with it. And I do not fear the New York Football Giants as long as Eli Manning is the quarterback. Wow. I did not fear the Redskins as long as Kirk Cousins was the quarterback. So I'm going to put Eli now in the Kirk Cousins mode of I don't fear it.
Come on, man. All right, so talk to me then. All right, you say you're a fan, true in, true out. Who have you ever feared and why?
Who have I ever feared?
Yeah, you said I don't fear them. I don't fear them.
Eagles.
Now, who have you feared? You fear the Eagles?
Well, and how long are we going back?
Hey, Dallas fans, you have somebody over here that fears people. I just want y'all to know that. Who fears? What you doing? Fear.
Well, fear. How far back are we going to go? Are we going to go last 10 years or?
However far back your fear goes.
I feared Tom Brady when he came to Jerry World. I feared him, and they just laid it all over us. Yeah. We had no shot. It was like 44 to 20 something.
Yeah.
You know?
How you think Dallas is going to do this year?
You know they're going to win the division?
They're going to win the division?
Yep.
I mean, you losing Dez, you losing the safety net.
Whoa, hold on. That was addition by subtraction. That was the best thing that happened to my team in the offseason.
Did I miss something?
The decks just got cleared. It's a great thing that we don't have Dez Bryant. We're good.
You're good?
We're better.
You're good without Dez.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you for bringing that up.
All right, what about Witten? I mean, that's the safety net. That is the safety net for Dak when he came in the league. I don't know where to go with the football.
Will tell you across
I'm
the table.
I'm going to look for Dak. Tight ends are
he
pivotal.
Says he could outrun Jason Witten right here, right now, like in bare feet. Or
I could.
Well, he's a rare breed.
Well, I wouldn't go that far.
Yeah. But
he just turned 50. So he says at 50 he could. How old's Jason now? 35.
35.
Yeah.
36, yeah.
Right. So,
I think he came in like 2002.
Yeah.
I get him.
He says he'd get him. So that's what he could catch it. He could sort of shield people off and screen people out. But after he caught it, he wasn't going anywhere with it.
Yeah, but he's going to catch it. He's a chains mover. He wasn't a difference maker anymore, but he would move the chains and can keep the offense on the field. So,
absolutely.
I like how Rashad came here ready to just take on Scamp, like coming on in on the Cowboys. I mean, this is good. You could stick around a little bit longer. We're going to keep you here. We're going to talk about who the best running back is in the NFL, and we're going to put you on the hot seat. So get ready for that one. That's next.
It is very easy.
No mercy.
Hey guys, Jenny Taft here. More of the Undisputed podcast is on the way, but first, a quick word from Lightstream. If you're thinking about saving money this summer, why not start by paying less interest on your credit card balances? Refinance with a credit card consolidation loan from Lightstream. It's an easy way to save hundreds to thousands of dollars and lower your interest rate. Lightstream offers credit card consolidation loans from 5.89% APR with autopay. You can get your funds as soon as the day you apply. Lightstream believes that people with good credit deserve a great interest rate and no fees. So say goodbye to high-interest credit cards this summer and start saving with Lightstream. And get this, Undisputed listeners can save even more with an additional interest rate discount on top of Lightstream's already low rates. The only way to get this discount is to go to lightstream.com/undisputed. That's lightstream.com/undisputed. Subject to credit approval. Rate includes 0.50% autopay discount. Terms and conditions apply, and offers are subject to change without notice. Visit lightstream.com for more information.
No mercy.
So who is the best running back in the NFL? Well, here are the candidates. First, we have Ezekiel Elliott, who rushed for nearly 1,000 yards in only 10 games last season. Next, Todd Gurley, who was the Offensive Player of the Year and just got a huge contract. And then finally, we're talking about Le'Veon Bell, who had nearly 2,000 total yards, 11 touchdowns last year. We're joined once again by former NFL running back Rashad Jennings. When you hear those three guys, those three names, who's your best?
When you hear those three, I mean, I'm curious as to why one guy's not even on the list. David Johnson.
Yeah.
I'm
That's fair. I'll buy that. He should be on the list somewhere.
Definitely. Yeah. I mean, if I'm taking my pick, it's him. 2016 led the league in all-purpose yards. That's difficult to do. He played all 16 games. When he's healthy, he's proven that he could be arguably the best running back in the NFL, and he's coming back healthy. So I like to see 4 of them. But between those 3, that's tough. You know, how do you determine what the best is? Are you going by, what, catchability? Are you going by moving the chains? Are you going by durability? Are you going by fitting a system? I mean, if I'm a franchise guy, if I'm starting an organization, I'm building a ball club, if I had to pick those 3 to build my team around, man, that's tough. I'll flip a coin, but if I had to pick somebody right now today, I'm going to go with Todd.
Todd Gurley.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. I went with Le'Veon slightly over Todd for the simple fact of his ability, because both of these guys, when you talk
the other day, you had Todd above.
No, I did not. I did not.
I don't.
The thing is, Le'Veon, who was most important, more valuable? That's what the question was. But anyway, when you look at it, Le'Veon and Todd, you're splitting hairs. Because both of the guys can run the football, obviously. Both of the guys can catch the football, down the field. They line them up in different areas of the field. So this is why I would go Le'Veon, Todd Gurley. But Todd is 3 years younger. So I would not begrudge anybody taking Todd Gurley. So I look at it like this. If we got a draft, and it's like, okay, you got Todd Gurley. I ain't mad about getting Le'Veon. If they say, well, you got Le'Veon, I'm not bad about getting Todd Gurley. But I'm saying I'm taking one of those 2 guys. I'm going to lead towards Le'Veon over Todd. But if you notice, who didn't get selected number 1?
I noticed, yeah.
It was him me with?
It's just straight hate. It's cowboy hate. You know it, and I know it. And you know in your heart of hearts who you know is the best running back. I know what you think. I can just see it in your body language. I can see it in your
I just said Le'Veon.
You can't help but stifle a grin over it because you know what's happening.
But everybody said Le'Veon to Todd Gurley. Everybody that's come up here, running back, all the other guys have said they would take Le'Veon or Todd Gurley over Zeke. It's only you that's stuck on Zeke.
Yeah, it
I'm
sounds
not
like it's
stuck
between
on
2.
him. It's what I see. And when you say, how do you define it? Just what do your eyes tell you? When you do eye test, just TV eye test, who runs harder? Who's harder to tackle? Who dominates? Who takes games over? Who has, as they say, that dog in him? The biggest dog is in Ezekiel
Did you see what Todd did to you guys last year?
Yeah,
did he take that game
After
over?
Sean Lee was out of the game. Yeah, I saw it. Yeah, he caught a ball and nobody was home, and he went like 75 yards right down the guts of the defense.
He rushed for $122.
There was no Sean Lee. There's no way he breaks that play with Sean Lee.
Oh, yeah, he got that one.
Sean Lee is all over it. Coach on the field. He's the best middle linebacker or linebacker in football.
Do you consider the guy somebody surrounded by? As a running back, like, do you consider who's playing quarterback, who's playing receiver, their defense, the offensive line?
Well, right now there aren't many receivers, so it's going to be all run. And I'm already on the record yesterday. I said he is going to break Eric Dickerson's all-time single-season rushing record. 2,105 yards.
Oh, he all in on the Cowboys.
I'm all
this
in.
year?
Yeah,
he's doing it this year?
I got to knock on wood. He's got to stay healthy, and the offensive line's got to stay healthy, obviously. But that's who we're talking about here.
Okay.
This is a dominator. The other guys are all really good, and David Johnson is really good. This guy's in another universe.
No, he's not.
Yes,
Another
he is.
universe?
Yep, he's in another universe.
so
No,
he's not
you
on
are
Earth.
right
He's
now.
not
You
on
remember
Earth.
those 3 games that he played at the end of his sophomore year for?
We talking about NFL.
We're talking about college, so let's talk about Saquon.
This is the biggest college you can play. This is the Big Ten championship game against Wisconsin, a top 5 defense at that point. He goes for 220. Then he goes for 230 against Alabama's defense in the national semifinal. Then he goes for 246 against Oregon.
Has he had any 200-yard games in the NFL?
He's an amazing running back.
Yeah.
So what did he do as a rookie? He led the NFL in yards.
So did Kareem Hunt.
Okay, what happened last year?
Now, he tried to change that real quick.
Time out. Who led the league last year in yards per game? I know he didn't play all 16 because he got suspended for 6. Who led the league by far in yards per game? Ezekiel Elliott. So he led it in total yards. He led it in yards per game. What do you think's going to happen this year? Explosion's going to happen.
I expect him to him to have.
He's great. He's great. He's definitely great. Now, I got an honest question for you because those 3 running backs are awesome. Then can you see which one of these guys do you feel could play on the other team and still be productive at a high level? Do you see Zeke? They could go play for the Rams right now and be productive like that. Do you think Gurley could go play with that? Are they all interchangeable, could play with other teams? Because some guys are system guys, we know that, and some guys are just dogs.
But here's the thing.
This guy is the dog.
Skip, you got to understand, Le'Veon caught more balls last year than Zeke caught in his first 2 years.
He did.
So did Todd Gurley caught more balls last year than Zeke did in his first 2 years.
Zeke doesn't have good hands. He has really good hands.
But here's the thing.
They just don't do that. That's not their
But to play in those offenses, the running backs has to do that.
So you keep saying you can split out Le'Veon. So what? So he's a receiver and a running back?
Yeah.
So what? What does it matter?
The more you can do.
All that matters is can you hand it to him and he can get 6 yards?
Yes. All 3 of those guys, can you hand it to him, can go get you that.
Not like this guy can consistently.
But Todd Gurley and Le'Veon?
Who wears down a defense? Who just bludgeons a defense until they say no mas?
No.
Ezekiel
that
Elliott
offensive line that Dallas
offensive
got.
line is I don't think you're putting into account them, too.
Yeah.
No, he doesn't.
I do.
Yeah,
I give you that. But listen, I've seen other backs try to run behind that line, and it's not like this
Darren
guy.
McFadden got 1,000 yards.
Sure
DeMarco Murray got 1848 behind that line.
It wasn't this line, but it was.
Yes, it was.
It wasn't all
Which line
these
was
same
it?
guys.
Zach Martin.
Which line was it?
The top 3 guys were there.
Yeah.
That's all we could.
Lyle Collins is there now.
He was hurt last year.
Yeah.
Witten ain't there this year. That's all I'm
No
That's all I'm gonna say.
So
that's big time. That's a big deal.
So are you saying the Giants will have a better record than the Cowboys this year?
Where did that come from?
Well,
did anybody here?
You're going there.
He
That's where
said,
it
"Did
came
I
from."
say?"
No,
so you
I'm
asked.
saying
He said,
that's where
"Did
you're
you say?"
heading. Everything you've said is heading
at
toward.
some point, you've heard this
You're
before.
saying that the Giants
did
can be
you
a top
say
5
the
offense?
Giants? Where did that come from?
The Giants.
Hey, you hearing a lot of stuff,
The Giants
man.
will be the 3rd place.
Hey, is somebody talking in your ear?
No.
Because I don't hear none of this stuff you talking about.
He's talking about the Giants going to be 3rd. Let me ask you a question. Who's going to be 1 in the NFC East?
The Cowboys.
That's not happening.
This is it. I feel really good about this team. I do.
Well,
beat the Eagles?
You took some emergency this morning, so you should be pepping your step. But you're not winning the division.
I don't even know what emergency
Yeah, that little pep up.
Really?
Pick me up, yeah.
Is that what you
No.
Did you just divulge?
No, I don't need nothing because I feel good every morning.
Really?
Yeah. My guy here in L.A.,
You're a guy? You got a supplier? Is that what you're saying? Or?
yeah, my guy. This guy.
Oh, I see. Okay.
That's what's up. This guy's
What's
here.
that?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, you missed
I
it.
ain't see it.
Oh, Braun?
Okay. Okay. You got the
in your eyes,
James.
Braun's the best running back in.
Oh, he could have been. He'd have been a heck of a tight end.
What?
He'd have been
he'd been a
Gronk.
good tight end?
He'd have been Gronk. He's too big to play any other position. What is he gonna play?
Why you think he's been a good tight end?
Braun's going to go over
That's
the
a
middle?
different sport now.
Oh yeah. Oh, he'd have been. I mean, 6'9". What else he gonna play?
When he gets blasted over the middle, is he going to come back?
He
for
tough.
another one?
LeBron tough. You see him get stitches in
Durable,
his eye,
yeah.
broke his nose, play with a mask, dropped 61 on the Hornets.
I mean, that's a
with a
different.
broken nose.
Yeah, but he'd
don't
cramp
know
up
about that.
fast, and he'd be going right.
Oh, it's
up
a different
to the-
mentality. That's a whole different ball. Football and basketball players are wired differently.
God, you hang out with this group enough, you realize that it always comes back to this guy at some point.
Yeah.
At some point. Thank you for being here. It was always good to get your take.
No mercy.
Well, Tom Brady's wide receiver group seems to constantly change, and the Patriots cut Jordan Matthews yesterday after he signed a 1-year deal this offseason, but he reportedly suffered a significant hamstring injury on Sunday. The Patriots may be adding former Titans wide receiver Eric Decker, who worked out for the team this week. And yes, remember, they will be without Julian Edelman for the first 4 games of the season. Shannon, what does this tell you?
It tells me that Coach Belichick says either you're going to pull some weight or you got to go. I guess he was practicing well, playing well, and then he got nicked his hamstring, and Coach Belichick says, you know what? You're not going to be doing us any good, rehabbing on our dime, so we're going to let you go ahead and go. We're going to bring Eric Decker, and it looks like they're going to sign Dak. Jordan Matthews, Skip, I mean, he really hasn't played well since he's left Chip Kelly. I mean, close to 900 yards his first 2 years, but he's always had this little injury bug.
He almost had 1,000 yards.
Almost had second.
2015,
Yeah. He's always had this little injury bug that just props up. And I'm sure that factored into Coach Belichick's decision of, I was kind of hoping you were over this bug. Now, the last couple of years, Dak has also suffered the injury bug. But I do believe that Eric Decker is an upgrade over Jordan Matthews. He had his best years playing with who, Skip? Peyton Manning. So you have a guy in Tom Brady that knows what he's doing with the football, knows where to go with the football, is in complete command of this offense. And so I expect him to – if Dak comes in this offense, I can see him catching 40, 50 balls, especially with Edelman being out the first 4 games. Gronk is still there now. He's still – look at Tom Brady. Tom Brady can win without Gronk. But you look at his numbers when Gronk's on the field, and you look at his numbers when Gronk isn't on the field, they're substantially different. And plus, Dak fits the mold. Gronk, Edelman, they got them old Gattaca guys. All them old Gattaca guys. He like them.
They all kind of look alike.
Chris Hogan.
They all look alike.
They all look alike.
Don't they all look alike?
Yeah.
I can't even tell them apart. That's interesting. Shannon Sharp, I've been trying to tell you for 2 years, Bill Belichick can get away with near murder when it comes to the wideout position because it just doesn't matter. He has the greatest quarterback in the history of pro football, who's also, to use your term, the greatest makeup artist ever because he can just cover up all the blemishes. It just doesn't matter. Just give him that guy, Joe Smith.
Second best. Second best.
No, he's the greatest ever. You know it. No.
Joe.
Said that under your breath.
Look what just happened. Jordan Matthews was sort of the offseason signee by the New England Patriots because Jordan Matthews has got some ability. He played at my school, Vanderbilt, and he is still the SEC all-time career leader in catches and yards caught. That's pretty great. The SEC, it's a pretty good conference, right? And he's still the all-time career leader is Jordan Matthews. And those 3 years in Philadelphia they weren't great, but they were pretty good.
They were decent.
Right?
Yeah.
And guess who fell in love with Jordan Matthews, who loved him like a brother, was walking to him, your guy Carson Wentz. He loved him some Jordan Matthews. And they traded Jordan Matthews straight up for Ronald Darby, who's a really good player. So that shows you that Buffalo really valued Jordan Matthews and thought that he was, that's pretty. That's weighty trade.
But they needed a receiver. They had let Robert Woods go. They had let Sammy Watkins go. Marquise Goodwin was gone. So they needed a receiver.
Ronald Darby is a first-round talent. Yeah. Like he's a playmaking top-tier cornerback, and so they valued Jordan Matthews in Buffalo, right?
Yeah.
And Carson Wentz was devastated and told the Philadelphia media, I don't have all the quotes, but he just went on and on about this is a tough day, man, because he was like my brother, and now he's gone to Buffalo. And he got nicked and he got knacked and he's had a series of injuries, and so they let him go. And so I thought, boy, what a steal for the Patriots to just swoop him up and pay him only $300,000 guaranteed and $1 million for the year.
Right.
So I thought, well, Brady finally has a viable weapon at the wideout position, and all of a sudden he pulls. Remember, on Saturday, Tom Brady threw a touchdown pass to Jordan Matthews and ran down and hugged him after the touchdown pass. That's how close they were appearing to get.
See, right? Coach Belichick said, well, you got to go.
Okay.
Anybody that's good with him, you got to go.
That was it. That's all Belichick needs to see. Okay, well, I'll see how hard I can make it. Let's see your degree of difficulty go up now, Tom Brady, because I'm going to take him away.
That ain't what he did.
Well, I think he did do that. Because everybody thought, even after the hamstring pull, most of the New England media speculated they would hold on to Jordan Matthews just because there's no Julian Edelman for 4 games. Right. And now there's no Jordan Matthews, so you're going to bring in what's left of Eric Decker. He's on his last legs.
Yeah.
Do you think he can outrun Jordan Matthews?
No.
Sorry. No. So all of a sudden it's Chris Hogan and Philip Dorsett and Kenny Britt and Cordero Patterson and a bunch of no-name kids. This is it? That's all you got to work with?
Well, you got them a model group. Look at all the guys with the shadow beard. You know, they got Edelman with the shadow, Dak with the shadow, Brady with the shadow.
Yeah, but the ultimate model, Amendola, is now a Dolphin.
Yeah.
Right?
So, look, Tom Brady will be just fine. Coach Belichick says you just
yeah, he will be just fine because he's just fine with just throw anybody. I told you, you could go out for the season opener and pick guys out of the stands. Hey, you want to play receiver today? And he would figure out how to win that game.
Tom Brady messed up. Huh? No, you can't.
Yeah, you can.
Skip, get these guys some credit. You make it seem you actually believe.
He cut Jordan Matthews. He just cut him.
He was injured.
He pulled his hamstring.
You can't make the club in the tub.
Okay, but how much harder can you make it on poor Tom Brady?
You make it seem like Eric Decker, he's not a competent receiver.
Well, he's competed, but
yeah,
again, he's just another guy. Right?
No, he ain't no guy.
Yeah.
The guy's had like 3 1,000-yard seasons. He's not what he was when he was with Peyton. And we saw the precipitous drop-off when he went to the Jets, but look at what was throwing him the ball. Now he has a guy that can get him the ball. Skip, the dude made Tebow look good. So
you know what? He did not. In fact, if you really know what happened that year, he and Tebow were never on the same page. They had no connection, no rapport, no wavelength.
Nobody had a rapport with him, Skip.
In fact, Eric Decker hurt Tim Tebow. He did. He hurt him. He did. I'm serious.
Jed, I'm a gas.
The bear there. We're going to bring up Tebow.
I'm serious. He hurt him.
Skip.
I'd be like, what are you doing?
It's hard to have a rapport when one time the ball's going to hit me in my chest, the next time the ball's going to kill worms that's eating grass on the field.
Yep.
The next time it's going to hit an eagle in the sky or hit the popcorn lady in the head.
Yep.
I mean, so it's hard to get a rapport and get on the same page.
Yep. As the great Eric Mangini once said back on ESPN in my days there,
what do you say?
The later in the game it gets, the more accurate Tim Tebow gets. And he got deadly accurate in the last 5 minutes of
Well, we're
going to
hold him out until the last 5 minutes of the game because he's killing us in the first 55 minutes of the game.
But then who won the game? Who got to go to your restaurant? Tim Tebow. Division championship.
Skip. They were winning games with 4 completions. This was 20.
Not every game. There was one that they won.
There were a couple of them. Yeah. This was 2011, not 1941.
Yeah, go look at Eric Decker. He was just a disaster.
No, he wasn't.
Mostly Demarius.
No, well, DT was hurt a lot that year. Yeah. DT was hurt. Deck played well.
Deck.
It was.
Yeah. How did he get to be Deck?
That's
New nickname going.
Yeah.
That's what it. Why do you got a problem with Deck? I mean, look at it. He's gonna fit right in. Well, just with the Patriot receivers.
He's another with a famous spouse, right?
Yeah. So that's what y'all like.
Yeah, we got lots of those.
Y'all like models, and Edelman had him a model. Amendola had a model. Jimmy G had a model.
That's true.
Jimmy G had a couple of models. Don't do that, Jenny.
Yeah, but
Jenny.
There's a big difference between a model and an Instagram model.
Yeah, no Insta.
Yeah. We can't compare anyone to Giselle.
I mean, Giselle top of it, but I'm just saying. It's okay. Let Jimmy. I mean, so I guess if you get you're gonna play quarterback or wide receiver, you got to get you a model.
I guess so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey.
Oh, it just doesn't matter.
What you mean it doesn't matter?
Tom Brady, can you imagine this? He's the favorite to be the MVP. His team is favored once again to win the Super Bowl, and Bill Belichick just cuts his best wideout. Just cut it.
That ain't his best wideout.
It is. It's his best.
Oh, so he better than Edelman?
Well, I mean, he's going to be gone for 4 games.
Okay.
You need somebody to play
wideout. Okay, is he better than Gronk? Is he better than Hogan?
Is Gronk a wideout?
Is he better than Hogan?
Yep.
No, stop it, Skip.
He's better. When did you fall in love with Chris Hogan?
Hogan just had 100 yards in the Super Bowl. He's got the record for the most receiving yards in a playoff game in Patriots history.
He's an undrafted free agent.
So was Wes Welker. He got almost 900 catches. So was Rod Smith. There are a lot of undrafted players. So
was Danny Amendola. Just keep listening.
Exactly.
These are all the guys Tom Brady made famous. Just keep going. It's a long list.
Skip, it's not an exact science. Yep. Evaluators, they make mistakes. They made a mistake on O'Shea. They didn't think Shea could play.
They did not. The Cowboys definitely didn't think he could play.
You know what?
Ran that 4.8.
You know what? That's why I had to do the Cowboys bad. Yeah. That's why I had to do them bad.
Did you do them bad?
Did them bad.
You doing bad.
Oh yeah. In 2000,
really?
Oh yeah, I cooked them.
2000?
Oh, I got Woody. Yeah.
Well,
98.
That's a bad team.
98
bad team.
What?
Those are dark days.
You're admitting it though.
Well, so in other words, they hadn't been good for a very long time. And somehow yet they remain America's team.
Wait a minute. They were great in 2014. They were great in 2016.
No. 2014?
Yeah, 2014.
And who did them in both times? Who was that quarterback?
Well, the refs did them in.
No.
They did?
That old gunslinger up in the Lambo. He go all around. He go, hey.
Is he the place kicker now?
No. With a bum leg. He's out there with a cane.
Really?
Yeah, with that calf. His calf was straight. He's like,
the ref stole it from
They
him?
propped him up.
Yeah. Really? Yeah.
And then when he came to Jerry's
he wasn't
World.
very good in that
When he came to Jerry's World.
Yeah.
Oh, Skip.
Mason cross.
Oh, Skip, that hurt.
Yep.
You had a good old, you were like, oh, we're going to win this game. Mm-hmm. Aaron said, nah, I ain't going to let
What
y'all
were we
do it.
down like 28-3 or whatever it was? That's the Patriots score.
But see, that's what makes it hurt even worse.
Yep.
Is that you're down big and then you come back and you actually, oh, we got him now.
We got him. We had him.
No, you got that L.
Jenny, it took a 51-yard field goal and then a 56-yard field goal, and both looked like they were going to miss, one to the right and one to the left. One got duck hooked at the buzzer and was completely outside the uprights going left like a duck hook. How does it suddenly fade back inside the crossbar? I've never seen anything like it before. Hand of God.
Plan.
It was a hand
God's
of God.
plan.
Yep.
God's plan.
And that's what cost me that game.
Cost you some
and probably
too.
cost me the Super Bowl because they would have beaten Atlanta.
Huh?
They would have had Atlanta at home to get to the Super Bowl. Come on.
Did you see what Atlanta did to Green Bay?
Well, Green Bay wasn't very good.
But y'all couldn't stop the pass. How y'all was going to stop Julio?
We stopped it in the second half. Jeff Heath almost intercepted. We did intercept him twice.
And
Jeff
pass
Heath-
interference.
Well, it canceled it.
Yeah.
Jeff Heath intercepted Aaron Rodgers twice in a playoff game?
Once.
How could that be?
Once.
Huh.
I should have wrapped this when we started talking about models and significant others. We went on a different
Instagram.
tangent there. We're moving
Jenny,
on.
I don't do that. He does that.
Okay, fine. You did it.
No mercy.
Hi, guys. Shannon Sharp here. More of Undisputed Podcast is on the way. But first, a word from Buffalo Wild Wings. A great man once said, baseball is the wings of sports. It didn't make sense then, and it really doesn't make sense now. But we're inclined to agree. Because baseball is great and wings are great, and you can find both at Buffalo Wild Wings. And because baseball has pop flies and wings help you fly, we don't know. Maybe the man is saying baseball is America's game and wings are America's chicken. It makes sense. Don't dwell on it. The point is, we've got baseball, we've got delicious wings. All we're missing is you. Come for the wings, stay for the baseball. Buffalo Wild Wings. Wings, beer, sports. Now back to the show.
No mercy.
Let's stick to talking about quarterbacks because next
Let's.
up, Kirk Cousins spent 6 seasons with the Redskins, but they've apparently moved on. Defensive back DJ Swearinger called out Cousins while praising Washington's new QB, Alex Smith. Swearinger told the Sports Capital, quote, Alex has more command of the offense for sure. He's definitely a leader that we lacked last year. Woo. Shannon, is he being honest about Cousins, or is this a guy just supporting his new quarterback?
Both. Skip, remember, I love to say two things can be true. He's being awful supportive. He's showing Alex Smith, hey, we got your back, bro. We here for you. But then he backhands and just like kick Kirk Cousins in the butt on the way out.
He did.
Come on. I get that Kirk did not have a contract, and everybody thinks, well, he wasn't all in. But Skip, if you look at the last 3 seasons, Cousins has a higher yards per attempt. He's tied for first in 25-yard plays with Tom Brady and Drew Brees. His completion percentage. Now, I gave him the name Check Down Alex.
Yep.
But Kirk Cousins' completion percentage is higher than Alex Smith. Pass and touchdowns, first Cousins has 20 more over 3 seasons. And Reed, his best offensive weapon, has missed 1 year. He's missed 16 games in the previous 3 years. So 16 of a possible 48, he didn't play. Alex Smith had Travis Kelce for 47 of a possible 48 games.
Yep.
And Cousins beat him across the board. Come on, man. I get it, Swearinger. You're going to show support for your guy, but you ain't got to blast the man. The man's gone now. He's up out of there. You want to show support for your teammate? I'm a firm believer in that. I'm going to support my guy, but I ain't killing nobody that's walking out the door, Skip, because it's unnecessary. Swearinger, you need to worry about that defense. Don't worry about the offense. First Cousins was the least of your problems, even though he didn't have the long-term commitment. Because making 20 and 24 million, he was good. But that defense, what about y'all play? Tell me about that.
Okay.
You keep talking about the offense and he had command. Oh, he had command. How you know?
Seem to know.
I am going to swear by Swearinger.
I figured you would.
Because he spoke nothing but the cold, hard
No, he
truth.
didn't.
You know it, and I definitely know it because I've been telling you this for 3 years. He just spouted what I've been spouting sitting in the seat
You
for
a first
3
Cousins
years.
hater.
I am a truth teller about Kirk
No.
Cousins or Kurt Cousins. All you need to know is what I've told you. This is what Swearinger is seeing with his eyes. He's eye testing Alex Smith by what he remembered even in training camp from Kirk Cousins over the last however long he's been there.
Right.
Just do last year. Kirk Cousins is over-emotional. He's skittish. He has nervous body language in the huddle and under center occasionally. He's what do I tell you? I've been telling you this for 2 years on this show. Underconfident overachiever. That's Kirk Cousins to a T. You like that? You like that?
Oh,
He's screaming at the
video.
media because he's not sure of himself. You like that? I showed you. Remember, he's rubbing the GM.
How you like me now?
Yeah. How you like me now? So Kirk Cousins, over-emotional and skittish, led the Redskins in his 3 years, or is really 5 years of starting, to 26-30-1 record. So he's 4 games under 500. All you need to know about Kirk Cousins is that I couldn't wait as a Dallas Cowboy fan to play the Redskins when Kirk Cousins was the starting quarterback, and he went 1-6 against my Cowboys. He went 0-4 at home against my Cowboys. He went 0-4 versus Dak Prescott of my Dallas Cowboys. And then he got a contract of $84 million guaranteed from your Minnesota Vikings.
I know.
$28 million a year guaranteed for 3 years. That's so outrageously wrong. You can't validate it. You can't back it up. You can't make a case for it.
Skip, you know how free agency works. Free agency is not about being good. It's about being free.
It's about right place, right time.
This is the first time we've ever seen a quarterback under the age of 30 to be completely free with no tags. Normally they have a franchise tag, exclusive, where you got to give up 2 first-rounders, or they're injured. Drew Brees became available because what? They said he had a 5-10% chance of playing because of that shoulder.
Yep.
Peyton Manning became available because they said he had a 5 to 10% chance because of the neck. We don't normally see these guys become available.
Yep.
Not saying Kirk Cousins is in that caliber, but I'm saying for a quarterback to become available, all DJ Swearinger could have said this. You can tell Alex Smith is a pro. You can tell he's been here before. The way he commands the huddle, he has the guy's attention. That's the way he could have said it. But no.
Have you ever known DJ Swearinger to be politically correct with anything he said? He just speaks from the hip, shoots from the lip, right? He just says whatever's in his head, he just says it.
But that's all a part about being a leader, Skip.
Okay, all right, that's true. I'll give you that. It's not the greatest thing to say, except he's just being honest. He's just reacting to what he sees, that he sees Alex Smith's command, his body language.
Right.
That's the leader we lacked last year.
But see, I just can't understand why everybody, even we saw Jay Gruden, he took shots at Kirk as he's leaving. He forget that he was leaving. He took shots while he was on his roster. Yeah, he putting up all these stats, but we ain't winning no games.
Yep.
My thing is, Skip, because guess what happened? Okay, when Alex leaves, what are they going to say then to get another quarterback?
Yep.
Oh, this guy got command. Ooh, you can tell he could. Come on.
Okay, well, but Alex Smith is going to back up what DJ said about it.
But let me tell you what's going to happen. Now, he said what he said, but guess what all the Washington fans and everybody around the country are going to be doing? They're going to be watching to see what DJ Swearinger does.
Okay, that's fine. I'm with you. That's fine.
You know how that works, Skip.
Yeah, but mostly they watch how the quarterback plays. Right?
We already know what check
I'm
down.
not sure everybody trains their binoculars on DJ.
But he said, we know what check down is going to do, Skip. He's going to check it down. But now you don't have Kareem Hunt. You don't have Travis Kelce. Now, Reed is a very good tight end, but he stays nicked a lot. Where's your Tyreek Hill? Now, you know Tyreek. Come on.
Well, keep talking because you're helping my Cowboy case, because I don't want him to be good. I'm scared of Alex Smith.
What you scared of?
Because he's a little, I'm just going to do this. He's a little better than Kirk Cousins. Case Keenum is a little better than Kirk Cousins. I promise you, he's a little better. He's just a little better leader, a little better playmaker. You got him with your Broncos now. He's definitely better than Trevor Siemian was.
And Brock Osweiler.
All right, and all that collection.
Paxton Lynch.
Yeah, all right. So the point is, they dangerously, dramatically overpaid for Kirk Cousins, and now the Redskins have a guy. They have a real live.
They overpaid for Alex Smith.
Oh, you could argue that, but look at his record, his starting record, and he had a couple of woeful years in San Francisco, but he's 88-62 as a starting quarterback, 88-62-1. At Kansas City, he won 50 games and lost 26. That'll work because he's a pro football quarterback. That's what he is. I'm not saying he's great. He's not spectacular. You can call him check down if you want, but he will operate with poise and precision and leadership. That's what he'll do.
But the big game, he can't answer. Remember, all they had to do was get in that championship
he's
game
not
against
Tom Brady.
No,
I never said he was.
In the championship game against the Giants.
I know.
Get 1 first down. Okay, collect 1 third down. Get 1 third down. You win the game against the Giants.
All right.
What's the big game? Pittsburgh. They go to his place in the divisional round. Take the L.
Okay.
Had a 45 to 14, 45-21 against Indy on the road.
Okay.
Gag that one off.
50-26 as a starting quarterback in Kansas City. Shannon Sharp, who's better, Kirk Cousins or Alex Smith?
First.
Sorry, he's just not.
Oh, since when do you like regular season? Since when do you like regular season?
You have to get to the playoffs. And Alex Smith will give Washington a better chance, albeit a long shot. I'm not picking him to be in the playoffs.
I remember you said that. You got to get to the playoffs.
Yeah.
O'Brien. That's where he lived. Live in the playoffs and the final. I'm just saying.
You know what? He does belong in the same sentence with Alex Smith.
You know what, Skip?
Because that's what they do. They just kind of win in the
There you go. See what you do? See what you do, Skip?
Check down LeBron.
See,
a good response.
you can't leave well enough alone.
You did it. I
didn't do anything.
You
now all of a sudden,
I ran through it.
All of a sudden, you love check down Alex. Oh, he gets
I don't love him. He's just a little better than Kirk Cousins. That's all I said. He gives them credible leadership at that position. He gives them stability at that position they have not had.
Well, the numbers say, if you're a numbers guy, the numbers say First Cousins is better than check down. That's what the numbers say now. You're a numbers guy. You love numbers.
I know. 50-26 says it's better than 26-30, right?
Oh, so that's what.
What's your restaurant?
Whoa.
Wait, what's your restaurant serve?
I just
W's and L's. Well, guess who's got way more W's than L's? Alex Smith.
Just for me and my 609,000 Twitter followers. Just so we're clear. Yeah, I'm gaining momentum.
How did you get up to 600?
Don't worry about all that. Like MC Hammer, I'm gaining momentum. Gaining.
How did you buy?
There ain't no bots here.
I don't know.
So I just want to make sure I'm clear. Just so I'm clear.
Yeah.
So it's wins and losses, not QBR. Is that what we
take wins and losses.
Okay.
But QBR is important.
No. You even hedge this. Because my guy had them both the last year. You know my guy. Oh, walk it to him?
Well, remember what my guy did his rookie year after they lost their opening game to Eli and company at home, and they went to Washington, and then Kirk Cousins, right on schedule, went to church. Do you remember that? This is the ultimate Kirk Cousins play.
You better not have that footage.
They have them. Wait a minute. Do we have that?
No, we don't have them. No, we got to go to break. No, you know what you mean we have it.
He went to church. This is the play of the game. He threw it right to Barry Church in the end zone. They're going to put the game away.
They should have put it away earlier.
What? Who are you throwing to, Kirk? You threw it.
He didn't. It was covered.
Right to my
it was 88.
Waiting for that.
It was cover 4, and he didn't see it. He didn't see the backside safety.
12.
It was 88.
Way to go, Barry Church.
He didn't see the backside safety.
Wait, you threw it right to the safety.
But
what are you doing?
It's not easy.
And guess what? Dak Prescott takes it 80 yards the
Where
other
was
way.
DJ Swearinger then?
27 to 23.
Hold on. Was DJ Swearinger on that defense?
I don't even know. I don't care.
Skip.
All I care is Barry Church was on my team.
I will give you this.
Yeah.
In that coverage, you got to know the backside safety is sitting there.
It's just so Kirk Cousins. That's when he turned into Kurt Cousins. You got
to know the safety is back there.
Yep.
So when he clears that first safety, you had nothing. You didn't have anything to hold the backside safety.
It's the cardinal sin of a quarterback to throw an interception in the red zone. You're on the doorstep and you throw it to the other team. And instead of +6, it's -7 the other way, right?
Yeah. Well, you got to hold the backside safety. They didn't have anything to hold the backside safety. And give Barry Church he did a great job of reading the quarterback. Nothing to hold him, and he jumps the rock. Good job.
And I hate to tell Jenny Taft, I'm making a note of this. You are stuck with Kirk Cousins for the next 3 years. You being a long time.
Don't let Skip talk.
I've been listening to you guys for a while now, and I hope you are so wrong because I am praying to the Vikings gods that you are wrong because they have invested in this guy.
He'll be all right.
You know what you should be most worried about is that your man, Shannon Sharp, loves Kirk Cousins. That should be the kiss of death.
No.
Kiss of death.
I didn't say I don't love him.
Yes, you do. You love him.
But I
call
think
him first cousin.
He's better than what you're giving him credit for.
Okay.
That play, though, that's got to give him nightmares. Nightmares.
It happens sometimes.
That changed my whole Cowboy season.
Whatever.
Put Dak Prescott on the map.
Well, perfect. We're going to talk.
That was 13-3 right there.
And then Aaron Rodgers took him off the map.
No.
Yeah, Aaron Rodgers. You remember that.
Mason Cross.
No, don't do that, Skip. Don't do that.
No mercy.
The Rockets were one win away from the finals last season, but they could take a step back next season. They lost Trevor Ariza and Luc Mbamute, but they're expected to sign Carmelo Anthony. James Harden called out the people who said he couldn't play with Chris Paul, and Mike D'Antoni had a message for the critics as well. Take a listen.
I think two things, and I don't want to be snide or, they said the same thing we got Chris with James. So, and I can see why they say that. They don't know what goes on, the inner workings of a team, and they don't know 100% what's important and what isn't important, and where we can not lose somebody and where we can kind of make it up. And I understand that. It's our job to prove them wrong. And we did it for 2 years now. James can't be a point guard, and now those two guys can't play together. We got one more big step. And if we're going to beat Golden State, which everybody's searching for, you got to take some chances, and you got to hope things hit out, and you got to hit that sweet spot. Doesn't mean it'll happen, but I'm confident, and I love our guys, and I think the worst we're going to be is great, and hopefully we can take that last step.
We're joined by FS1 NBA analyst Eddie House. Eddie, good morning.
Good morning. Good morning.
Do you agree with Harden and D'Antoni?
Eddie, before you go, Skip.
Look at this here.
The people at the Lakers store say they heard Shannon Sharp was a big LeBron James fan. So they say they wanted me to have this.
They did?
Yeah. They sent this to me.
Huh. You know that's sacrilegious because that's a Showtime Laker jersey.
Whoa, Skip.
Right? And he has not earned that jersey yet. You got to earn it.
He earned it.
Yeah?
You're just waiting to throw that in. Just waiting all morning to get there.
You're a hater, Skip. Let me have my time.
Yeah. Are you going to wear that to Canton? Are you going to wear it to the Hall of Fame?
Opening night, I will be in the arena.
Really?
With that jersey.
Okay. All right.
On that note, Eddie, do you agree with these comments?
Well, I don't like how they backpedaling in. I don't know what side they're on. Do they mean that taking a step back or getting better, does that mean having more wins? Or does that mean getting back to the Western Conference Finals and getting to the finals? If you look at it in wins-wise, when D'Antoni was with the Suns 2004, 2005, they won 62 games, Western Conference Finals, lose to your Spurs. Following year, team I was on, we lose 8 less games, 54 wins, get back to the Western. Took a step in the wins, but we got back to the Western Conference Finals.
Right.
So you lose in wins, you have less wins, but you still get to where you want to go. So I still think that's successful. So I don't think you measure it on wins and losses. For them, I don't think it's take a step back. Are they going to take a step forward? That's the question. And it's going to, if they can change some things up, I think like last year, even with Chris Paul down when they were in that Game 7, missing 27 threes, at one point do you say, let me get a mid-range jumper, let me get an easy one? And it doesn't have to be a layup. It could be a mid-range jumper. If they run you off the three, take up that space, shoot a 15-footer.
You know what their mindset, they live and die from the three-point line.
Well,
it's D'Antoni, it's the whole organization's
But
mindset.
you do have to change at times. You see that if that's not going, then you have to find a way. And I think that's why the Warriors are so good. They don't have a big man to slow things down and throw it on the block. They throw it to KD in the mid-range. That's just like a post-up. And I think that's, if they're going to take a step forward, they're going to have to eliminate live by the three, die by the three, or at the rim, they're going to have to find some mid-range game, and I think that could put them over the top.
That's what I'm looking at it. Okay, you won 65 games. Do you win 66 games this year? You got to the Western Conference Finals. Do you get back there next year? It's hard for me to believe. Now, here's the thing, Skip. They were 6th in defensive efficiency. You lose Trevor Ariza and you lose Luke, Rashad, and Mbamute. You bring in Melo. Now, Ariza shot 1% better from the three than Melo did last year. So now you lose 2 of your wing defenders that made you. This is why you were able to switch everything, because you put Ariza, you put Tucker, you put Mbamute, you put Chris Paul and James Harden on the court together. Sometimes you bring in Clint Capella. You could switch everything because that was a defensive-minded team, and you could shoot the three. Melo's not going to bring you anything defensively. Melo's not a catch-and-shoot shooter. That's not what he is.
Well, that's what he was last year.
Well, no, that's what he tried to be, and he didn't look good. That's why he averaged 16 points a game. Kyle Korver is catch-and-shoot. Klay Thompson is catch-and-shoot. That's not Melo's game. Melo, dumping the ball, he gets it at the three, he back you down, either he gets to the basket or he turns around and shoots the shot, the mid-range over the top of you. That's his game. But that doesn't play well with James Harden and Chris Paul. So the question is, how do they get better? Because anything less than getting to the finals is you got worse.
Right.
The NBA Finals, not the Western Conference Finals, the NBA Finals.
That's a step forward.
Yes.
The Houston Rockets are the team most likely to decline next year. And I've said it before, and I'm going to say it again. But I got to give D'Antoni this, and I got to give James Harden this. They both said yesterday, we have proved all of you wrong 2 straight years. And they're right about that, because everybody said James can't play the point in the D'Antoni system. The way Steve Nash played the point, it was pretty good. He
11
did
assists a game.
I know, that'll work. So I was wrong about that.
Yes.
Then last year, everybody said James and Chris can't find some equilibrium together. They just, I was doubtful until before the year started. They started playing together here at UCLA and pick up games like every day. They were so committed to learning each other. And then right away, you could see the first week of the season, it worked.
Right.
They played off each other because Chris is so unselfish. Chris doesn't have to shoot the ball as much as James does. James sacrificed a little. Chris just blended in. So it worked, and they were really good. But what was their mindset? What was their new mantra? We are going to defend.
Yes.
They just lost 2 guts and glue guys in Mbamute and especially Trevor Ariza. You know Ariza's now with your Phoenix Suns. These are guys who will bring it every night on both ends of the floor.
Yes.
Trevor Ariza is a classic 3-and-D guy who is playing at a higher level right now than Carmelo can play at this stage and age of his career. That's why Phoenix gave him, what, $15 million?
1 year.
Okay, it's worth it. 1 year, $15 million, because he can play at that level. So they brought a mindset. They brought chemistry. They brought mental toughness to a team that was challenged in all those areas before. And both those guys are gone. And you're going to replace it with Carmelo. He's going to drag it down. He's going to be the albatross who's going to change the whole chemistry of that team for the worse. And I don't doubt that Chris and James can get along, blend.
They've proven that.
Yeah, they did. But you lose those 2 and you add Carmelo, that's a recipe. I'm not going to say for disaster. They're not going to miss the playoffs. They're just going to fade. They're not going to be the threat to Golden State that they were last year.
The question I have is there a defense? I believe Jeff Bizdilic is the defensive coach in Houston, and he's from the Pat Riley coaching tree.
He's very good at what he does.
Do they have a system in play to where you could just plug in Carmelo and ask him to, hey, you have to just – you're not asking him to be a lockdown defender to stop guys like one-on-one. You asking him to be the best team and help defender that he can be. Don't get caught standing straight up on the weak side, hugging your man. If you need to take your 2.9 in the lane while somebody's taking a cut or tag, you need to be doing all those things. So that's what I want to see. Is he going to be engaged defensively? Because that's the only thing
he ever been engaged defensively.
I think he has his best friend on there, Chris Paul, is going to hold him accountable. And if he's going to listen to anybody, he's not going to listen to D'Antoni, because we know that happened in New York already.
He already didn't.
Would he listen to James Harden? He probably feels like he's on the same level as James Harden because he's been a superstar before. Will he listen to Chris Paul, the floor general? I believe so, because it's one of his best friends. So when your partner come and talk to you, you tend to listen a little bit more than somebody you really don't mess with or you really don't know. So I think that's the one advantage that they do have, that Chris Paul is on this team, that you could probably light a fire up under Melo, and he's going to hold him accountable. I don't think he's going to let Melo slip.
Melo still sees himself as Melo. He's Carmelo now. He's not Melo. But that's how he's skipped. That's how, if he saw himself as Carmelo, he could accept the role of coming off the bench. He's still resistant to that because he sees himself as that guy still. And he can't be that. You can't be. When you're used to getting 20-plus shots a night, and there are going to be very few times that Carmelo's going to be able to get 20 shots a night, because that's what it took for him to be successful, is that he needed the ball. Now, you're not taking the ball out of Chris Paul's hands or James Harden's hand to put the ball in Melo's hand and says, okay, we're going to run the offense through Melo.
They might do that a handful of times, though, just to keep him happy. Maybe at the start of the game.
There you go.
A lot of coaches.
There go your team.
But listen,
you got to keep him happy.
No, but a lot of coaches do that. I can recall Doc Rivers doing that, running a play for certain guys at the beginning of the game, because they're not going to ever get the ball, a play call for him. For the first play, he's going to get him a little sugar to keep him engaged into the game. So that's good coaching.
Which guy would that have been?
Who do you think out of the starting lineup?
Well, Paul
for the
Pierce.
Celtics. No. Kendrick Perkins.
Kendrick Perkins?
Yeah, he will run a dive.
Keep him involved?
He will run a dive play for Kendrick for Perk almost the beginning of every play. Give him a real quick touch. Perk will go to that jump hook. make a miss.
So he wouldn't pout?
No, just to keep him in game. Because he's not going to Perk worked hard defensively, number one.
I know.
And he was running up and down. When that big fella run up and down with them big feet, get to hurting, he going back and forth, you got to give him a little sugar, man. You have to keep him engaged.
But Perk ain't never been thought of as Melo.
No, not at all.
Melo ain't, hey.
So you might get lucky and Melo might get hot, and you could feed him for a minute. You never know.
Okay. So ask Russell and Paul George how that worked out.
That's a good point. So when Carmelo was in Denver, George Karl used to tell me if Melo wanted to, he could average 10 assists a night. 10 assists a night. And I said, well, why doesn't he? Well, he doesn't want to. Well, he doesn't want to play defense either. Could he play defense? Sure, he could if he really wanted to.
Not now.
It's not too many guys that come out of Syracuse that really are great defenders.
Because they play zone.
Yeah, I think Jason Hart probably was a really good defender, on-ball defender coming from Syracuse. But for the most part, most of them aren't really good defenders coming out because they play zone.
He's Melo. He doesn't play defense.
But when you score 30, when you can score 30, 28 points a night, you're like, oh, who cares about defense?
Plus,
he's going to have to go ahead.
He doesn't catch and shoot. He
that's not
you down.
Yes.
Right. He's going to be standing in the corner.
He is the all-time ball stopper. He needs the ball in the low post, and he needs time. You need to give him 20 seconds on the clock to back somebody down and create a shot. And he can still do it at a fairly high level, but that's not how that offense clicks. No. It's not how it goes.
If they're going to be successful, Melo is going to have to do what D. Wade did last year with Cleveland and swallow his pride and say, hey, man, I know I was, but I'm not the same. If I need to come up, whatever it is I need to do.
We've been saying that for the longest. But I tell you what, Skip, I know a guy that had that same thing, that they give him the ball early. I used to go to Mike and say, Mike, just give me one early in the first quarter, then I'll be there for you in the fourth. I said, don't come to me in the third quarter.
Oh, you're talking about you.
Yeah.
Oh, we suddenly went.
Yeah, I said, Mike, call that basic cross for me. Call me that basic cross to that wild.
And he's talking about the Broncos.
Call me wild. Let me get my hands on that ball, then come fourth quarter. Uh-oh. Eddie, I start cooking them. Uh-oh. You about to get it. You about to get it. You about to get it.
Baltimore versus Oakland. That was Anthony Dorsett bad angle, man. He's a bad angle right there. You should have got the worst angle in the history of football. Thank you.
I ain't gonna let y'all talk about
it. Man, Goose out there landing on Gannon. Man, come on, man. Y'all was out there cheating.
I'm not gonna let y'all talk about Anthony Dorsett. He took a great angle. I just outran him.
Yeah.
You did not run. You outran him once he took the bad angle.
Y'all be hating.
These two agree. I'm surprised.
Didn't you set up the referee on the play before? Yeah.
I did.
Yeah.
Because he interfered with me.
See, I just said
Marquez Pope interfered with me on the play before. And I just let the referee know. He grabbed me. You missed that one. He's like, oh, shit, I got you.
Got you.
He heard him, too. He got there a little early.
How many yards was it? Like 90?
Yeah,
oh, man, it was ridiculous.
It's still the longest play from scrimmage pass in NFL postseason history.
It's the longest?
Longest.
Are we sure about this?
100. That's my favorite record. You know what my favorite record is? Mine till it get broken.
I like
my
that.
favorite than Thriller. I like that one better than Thriller. It ain't going nowhere. Don't be trying to break it, Tidy. Nobody.
So are you comparing yourself to Carmelo?
No. I knew what I was. I was well aware of what I was. Mike didn't wear me down. Carswell, called him House, the backup tight end. He started playing more, and I was fresh in the fourth quarter to be able to cook him.
But you only cooked them once.
That's all I needed back then, Skip.
That's all he needed.
I needed one game. That's what they call you, boy, big play Shay.
Really?
Not big game. I used to be big game because I give you 13 for $160, give you 12 for $214. But I was just one shot, one kill. It hurt too.
Jim, isn't it interesting how we just went from the Houston Rockets all the way back to his career again?
No, I'm talking about
multiple plays, though. Multiple plays.
Does this mean that somebody is living in the past? I don't know.
Carmelo should be looking to you for some advice on how to handle. We're back to the.
You want one, Skip?
That's sacrilegious.
Let's be honest.
What you mean it's sacrilegious? It's the Lakers.
I thought it was Sabonis at first.
Don't do that.
Did you get one of these yet?
No.
You know what? Those Kobe fans out there, they might be burning those pretty soon.
No more burning of the jerseys. Eddie, thank you.
No, thank you.
Yeah, I'm gonna give you one.
Here. It's always a good time.
No mercy.
Thanks for listening to the Undisputed Podcast. I'm Jenny Taft. We're back at the same time tomorrow morning, 9:30 Eastern. We'll see you then.
Fox Sports 1 of 1.